A case that shocked the world. Powerful connections, secretive records, years of investigations. Across the internet, people refer to something called the Epstein Files. But what are these files really? Where did they come from? And what is confirmed versus what is just rumor? In this series, we're breaking the story down step by step, using verified facts, documented timelines, and careful explanation without speculation. This is part 1, the background and origins of the case. For years, Jeffrey Epstein was known publicly as a wealthy financier with connections in high-powered business and social circles. He maintained relationships with high-profile individuals across different industries, from science and politics to finance and royalty. His lavish lifestyle, private properties, and extensive network attracted media attention even before any legal actions began. However, what ultimately brought global focus was not his wealth, but the criminal investigations and court cases connected to very serious allegations. When we look at this story, it's crucial to separate 3 different things. First, the public reputation he built. Second, the media reporting that covered him. And third, the court-documented facts. In our analysis, only that last category, what is written in official court records, is treated as verified fact. Everything else is perception, reporting, or commentary. This distinction is the most important tool for understanding what really happened versus what was just said. This story didn't just appear overnight. Years before the case became a global headline, law enforcement investigations in Florida had already started examining allegations against him. This initial phase involved local police investigations, reviews by prosecutors, and complex legal negotiations behind the scenes. The result was a 2008 non-prosecution agreement, a legal deal that was incredibly controversial and later heavily criticized by the public, legal experts, and victims. Journalists would later revisit these early decisions, questioning why the case wasn't handled differently from the start. But those debates, while important, remain part of public and legal commentary, not new court verdicts. The key takeaway for understanding the timeline is this. This was not a sudden case. It had roots stretching back years, developing slowly and largely out of the public eye before it ever exploded onto the world stage. So, how did a years-old Florida case become one of the biggest global news stories of the century? The answer lies in the power of investigative journalism. The story gained massive, worldwide attention when journalists, particularly from the Miami Herald, began publishing deep, detailed reports. These reports were not based on rumors. They were built on direct interviews with victims who had never spoken publicly, meticulous review of legal filings, and newly uncovered documents. This reporting played an essential role in bringing renewed attention to the case timeline and the controversial 2008 plea deal. This is a common pattern in major legal stories. Dedicated media investigations often trigger renewed legal review and, just as importantly, massive public awareness. It was at this stage that public interest surged, and the case moved from the quiet corridors of the legal system into explosive global headlines. With the primary criminal case against Epstein himself having ended, the pursuit of justice didn't stop. It simply shifted. The focus moved toward the prosecution of his known associates and the establishment of restitution for the victims. We've since seen high-profile trials of key figures connected to his network, which have provided further insight into the scope of the operations. Alongside these trials, dedicated victim compensation programs were created. These funds were established to provide a measure of financial redress to the many individuals harmed, offering a form of accountability outside the criminal courts. These ongoing legal actions, combined with civil lawsuits and the continued gradual unsealing of court records, ensure that the investigation, in a broader sense, remains very much active. The story continues to unfold, piece by piece, through these parallel legal avenues. Finally, we have to talk about transparency and privacy. While the push for transparency in this case has been significant, the legal system still recognizes situations where privacy rights can overrule the public's right to know everything. In many of the related court proceedings, judges have decided to keep certain documents sealed. This is often done to protect the identities of individuals who are not parties to the case, to shield victims who wish to remain anonymous, or to protect sensitive investigative techniques. These decisions highlight an ongoing tension in the law. While transparency is a powerful tool for accountability, it is not absolute. Legal institutions must constantly weigh the public interest against the potential for harm. They have to decide when protecting individual privacy, even in a case this big, is necessary to prevent collateral damage or to preserve the integrity of the judicial process itself. This careful balancing act remains one of the most complex and debated aspects of our modern legal landscape. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for the next part in our series.